Germany, the birthplace of the modern car. In 1879, Carl Benz built one of the world's first internal combustion engines, a spark that powered Germany's Wirtschaftswunder and shaped global mobility. Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, BMW, icons of precision, reliability, and the gas-powered age. But in the race to electrify the future, Germany's auto giants turned east to a Chinese company in the fishing town of Ningde. Founded in 2011, Contemporary Amperex Technology Co Limited, or CATL, rose from obscurity to become the world's dominant battery maker in under a decade. Its clients? Tesla, Nissan, BMW. By 2024, CATL powered 1 in every 3 electric vehicles worldwide. But CATL's story is also the story of how China turned the battery, once a humble chemistry experiment, into a geopolitical tool. The story begins not in China, but in Italy in 1800, with Alessandro Volta's first battery. For decades, the chemistry barely changed. Then came the 1970s oil crisis. At Exxon, scientist Stanley Whittingham made a breakthrough, the first rechargeable lithium battery. But when oil prices fell, Exxon shelved the idea to cut costs. Japan picked up the spark. In 1991, Sony commercialized the lithium-ion battery, small enough to fit its handycam, powerful enough to drive a revolution in portable electronics. For over 2 decades, Japan dominated the global battery business, until China entered the game. In 1989, a young engineer named Zheng Yu-kun left his stable state job in Fujian province and moved south to Dongguan, China's manufacturing frontier. A decade later, he founded Amperex Technology Limited, or ATL, making lithium-ion batteries for mobile electronics. Their first prototypes were unstable, swelling after repeated charges. But Zheng and his team worked tirelessly, tweaking formulas until they cracked it. Their batteries cost half as much as Korean rivals, thinner, lighter, and adaptable to any device design. In 2005, Japan's TDK Corporation bought ATL, but Zheng stayed on. While Zheng mastered battery chemistry, China's leaders were reimagining the nation's industrial future. By the early 2000s, Beijing realized it could never catch the US, Germany, and Japan in internal combustion engine technology. Japan already held a first-mover advantage in hybrids. So, China made a strategic leap, betting on something entirely new: electric vehicles. In 2009, China launched the 10 Cities, 1,000 Vehicles program, aiming to deploy 1,000 EVs in 10 pilot cities. By 2011, that number had grown to 25 cities. Billions poured in: subsidies, tax breaks, public procurement. And to qualify for subsidies, car makers had to use Chinese-made batteries, a policy that cemented domestic dominance and shut out foreign suppliers for years. In 2011, Zheng spun off ATL's EV battery division, founding CATL. BMW came calling. The partnership brought new expertise, tighter standards, and global credibility. By 2017, CATL had overtaken Japan's Panasonic to become the world's top lithium-ion battery maker. In less than a decade, China controlled the beating heart of the global EV supply chain. CATL's rise wasn't just innovation, it was the result of national strategy. China refined most of the world's battery materials and secured stakes in mines abroad. CATL invested in lithium in Bolivia, cobalt in the Congo, and nickel in Indonesia. Even if the US or Europe localized their own supply chains, China holds a years-long technology lead and sells batteries at unbeatable prices. China is now deeply embedded in the global EV ecosystem. Its cell production capacity far exceeds global demand, depressing prices and raising the bar for new entrants. In 2025, CATL became entangled in geopolitics, blacklisted by the US over alleged military links, which it denies. In the same year, China imposed new export controls on key battery materials, requiring permits from 8 November, tightening its grip over technologies vital for EV and energy storage. For CATL, the next chapter isn't about scale, it's about staying ahead. The race is on. Toyota, Samsung, QuantumScape, all are chasing the next big breakthrough, one that could restore premium pricing power in a market squeezed by Chinese overcapacity. The next frontier? Solid-state batteries, safer and more powerful. And CATL is already developing solid-state and sodium-ion technologies. Its ambitions now stretch beyond cars, into battery recycling and energy systems that can power even a city. China's lead in lithium-ion battery production is too big to close anytime soon. Its rise in the EV sector is a masterclass in industrial policy, deliberate, coordinated, and fast. For now, CATL stands as a case study in how vision, statecraft, and scale can reshape an entire global industry. The question is no longer whether the world can catch up, but how it will adapt. Can CATL maintain its dominance as competitors build their own battery empires? And how will geopolitics reshape the next phase of electrification? Only time and terawatt hours delivered will tell.